But what would you have done then? Are you saying that you wouldn't get on there because it's too noisy?
It's not a question of what
it didn't happen.
done.
It didn't happen.
To be honest, I'm not bothered. And they got through it, didn't they? They got through it. They're here now. We're not short of them. If anything, like I said, he didn't do us a favour because he saved too much. You can't move out there for stuff.
Oh, chimpanzee, that is raining down again, you fucking...
That's the jingle for excerpts from Carl's diary. This is all legitimate stuff. Ricky and I have had no input in this. This is the first time we get to read it. Went and did some shopping for stuff as it was my turn. Suzanne moaned a bit because I forgot orange juice and bought some cheap toilet paper. She always buys the expensive toilet paper. I don't know why they make toilet paper with
That made it into the diary.
Up and out at 9 o'clock to go to the Cotswolds. Now, I think this was a gift for your girlfriend, wasn't it, for her birthday?
Yeah, it was a
You went to the
birthday and
Cotswolds,
so I just went for one night.
Got the car and headed off. We stopped at a service station to get some breakfast. We had fried toast with an egg on it, one sausage and beans, twice. Cost us £13.85. They sell everything separate, so it seems cheap. At that price, we must have been charged for each bean. We found the B&B, but they wouldn't let us in the room because we were early. We went for a walk. There was not much around the B&B, so we had a quick walk around the car park. And went back in. Happy birthday. The room was now ready. It's an alright room. 3 biscuits, so I ate them straight away. Like a child.
Like a dog. He runs in, jumps on the bed. No.
Get off the bed, not on the furniture. The room overlooked the car park that we'd already been round. There.
We'll always have the car park.
Yeah. Oh, God. The room had posh coat hangers in the wardrobe with sponge on them.
So I ate the sponge.
Don't think they are needed. We went and booked a table for Sunday dinner and went on another walk. There was a field that was there just for birds to live on. We couldn't see any, so we went to the pub. Headed back to where we were staying for our dinner. I had beef. It was nice enough, but there was a family of 13 behind us. I don't see the point in going out in large numbers. They annoyed me. One of the family asked for sorbet before his next course. He was only about 11. He thought he was it. I said to Suzanne, I've had enough and needed a kip. Watched Planet Earth on BBC One. They filmed a panda for 4 weeks and all it did was sit in its cave. It did nout. If I was Fiat, I wouldn't name one of my cars after them, as it suggests it won't work. It'd be like bringing out a Ford Sloth. No one would buy it.
A Ford Sloth. I would love that ad campaign. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, God. The new Vauxhall Slug.
Oh. We had a look around the local village. There wasn't much to it. We did the usual thing and had a look around the church graveyard to see how old the dead people are.
Suzanne's had a hell of a time so far. She's gone to the Cotswolds, the room wasn't ready, she's seen the car park, an empty field, and now let's go and play how old the dead people are.
I like the fact that you mentioned we did the usual thing of having a look round the church graveyard. Do you make her do that every time you go away?
I like the fact, I want to know what she did for 2 hours when you slept. Did she just like...
She went to a club, had a whale of a time.
No, she just looked out at the car park, just like, memories.
But that's what you do, though, isn't it, when you go to the... Unless you want fudge. Or, you know, you walk round a church graveyard and have a look. It's nothing.
Fudge.
We went home. It took 3 hours to drive back. People say they go to the country to see the wildlife. I saw rabbits, pheasants and a fox on the way home. They were all dead in the road. I was just intrigued to know, because Rob from Burton-on-Trent has sent this in, and he wants to know that, because he's just started seeing someone, and he wants to know what your advice, Carl, is on how to keep her happy. You know, he's just started a relationship with someone, he wants to know what your advice would be to keep her happy, because, you know, I mean, he won't have heard that you took Suzanne on that wonderful trip to the Cotswolds, so... What's your your advice, really, for someone who's perhaps just started a relationship? I mean, you've been with Suzanne for, what, 9 years?
Ages.
Mm.
I don't think you should, have to go out of your way to please them, because then it's not the right person. I think you should just do what you want, and then if they like it, then they're the right ones for you. Out of your way too much. I mean, I got the posh badge for a birthday. That's once a year. Rest of the time, it's kind of like, you know, I like weird stuff. I like watching weird stuff and all that. Now and again, I won't make her watch it. I'll tape it.
This is amazing advice.
But sometimes,
This is amazing advice.
sometimes you just say, no, come on, the bloke with the two heads on, I want to watch it live.
So give and take is what you're saying there.
That's all. It shouldn't be hard. As soon as it's hard, it's not right. So just go about your business. See if she joins in.
Brilliant. Another quote for the book.
Woke up to the Commonwealth Games on the radio. Now, what are you making of the Commonwealth Games? Is that something that interests you? Are you a sports fan?
I'm not really. I mean, Suzanne's sort of been getting up early, especially to watch it. You know how I feel about a lot of it. It just seems to be sort of wasted. If people use it, do you know what I mean? Rather than just trying to beat your own record or someone else's, do something where you do have to run. If you're a good swimmer, be a lifeguard. Don't be messing about going up and down.
I was swimming recently. I do a lot of swimming, and I've never quite mastered my front crawl. Just never quite nailed the breathing, because it's quite tricky, isn't it? You know, you've got to breathe at the right moment. And so I'm in the swimming pool in the local gym, and there's a guy bombing up and down, really doing a great forward stroke. So I waited till he came up, and sort of went, excuse me, mate. I was just watching you when you were doing your front crawl. I was really impressed. Could you just watch me when I do mine and tell me if I'm going
Why
wrong?
would you go to a man?
I know, and that was what that was the problem. Is only as I was saying it did I realise what it sounded like. I've just been watching you swimming up and down. I was really impressed.
And you're both in Speedos.
Both in Speedos. You know, I'm got the goggles on.
Oh, you got a special
Orthopedic, special prescription goggles so that I can see when I'm swimming. Quite pricey.
But why do you need them? There's nothing in a pool to look at. It's not like you're scuba diving. There's
Well,
nothing.
hold on. Clearly there is something to look at in a pool.
Well, no, I wasn't checking. Well, I was checking him out, but I was checking him out for swimming tips. And he just looked at me when I asked him, can you just watch me and offer me any tips? And he just looked at me like I was just mental.
That is such a strange thing to say. Can you just watch? I don't know how you had the nerve to do that.
Well, it was innocently motivated.
Well, I know it's innocent, but what a strange thing to go up to someone and...
But what civilization are we living in where we can't just ask our fellow man to help us out with our forward crawl?
But we're in a society where we can't. But you know that. It's a strange thing to say.
But sometimes it's nice to just think, no, do you know what? I'm not going to fall into the trap of thinking he's immediately going to think I'm gay or that I'm chatting him up. I'm just going to ask him to do me a favour. There's nothing wrong with that.
What if he said, yeah, it's good, yeah. Do you mind coming and help me with my plastering? You'd have said, no, I can't.
But it's not the same. He's in the swimming pool. He's there in the pool. He's swimming up and down. He's, it's not no skin off his nose to just offer a bit of kind in the middle of nowhere and someone drives by. You know, it's a generous thing to do. Just stop and maybe look under the bonnet and help them out.
I agree.
But I don't see how that's any different. You know, and in the end he did, and all he asked was that I wake him off. No, he didn't. I'm joking. That's the jingle for Rockbusters, a quiz which I don't think anyone enjoys. I mean, Carl doesn't enjoy writing them, we don't enjoy listening to them, the listeners from the emails are just not interested, so don't know why we bother. But anyway, here we go.
Last week's clues, go.
The first one, it's cryptic clue, just in case.
No,
it's the
stop
first time
saying
you've heard
cryptic,
it.
because they're not
Cryptic
cryptic.
clue with initials of an artist or a band. You work it out, you send in the answers. Right, the first one, the initials were SC, right? And the cryptic clue was, I went into the restaurant on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. The fella making the food, he was right? So you got to think about it, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, just tell us the answer.
What is he? He's a cook, isn't he, if he's making the food and that. If he was there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's the same cook. Right?
Yeah.
So what have you got there?
Same cook.
Same cook.
Sam Cook.
You said same cook.
Yeah, but if I went, the way I look at it is, if I worked in a record shop...
The way you look at it is,
if I worked
you
in a
get
record
close
shop,
you can
someone
and
came in
just
and
say
said,
it.
have you got Sam Cook? I'd go, yeah, sure, he's in the jazz section or whatever. Right, the second one.
Bollocks, that is bollocks, that one.
Go into that woman's store and rip her off. Right, so what's a store?
Shop.
right? If you're ripping someone off, what are you doing?
Stealing.
Another way of...
Conning.
Right, okay. And what is it? It's a shop, it's a woman, so what am I saying?
What's the initial?
C.
Con shop.
Right? It's a woman.
Corner shop. Corner shop.
There
corner
you go.
shop.
So Steve worked that one out, well done there. The last one.
I'm stunned.
You've had a go at laying down a track, but it ain't perfect.
What's that?
So a track is...
Yeah, what's the initial?
E.
Okay.
So you've had a go at laying down this track.
Yeah.
So when you're laying down a track, it's like it's a mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've had a go at doing it. You've just it ain't perfect.
Right.
So you could say it's what's another word for not perfect? It's a bit of a
Shit.
bit of a like that's a bit rough, isn't it? It's a bit of a rough mix. It's your rough mix.
Your rough mix.
Your rough mix. I've never heard of that band.
That's not bad.
Annie Lennox, isn't it? Your rough mix. So
Your rough mix.
Candice Morris in London got them.
I really don't know what to say.
So signed picture off to
You're
her.
right.
Well, I feel embarrassed that we're still doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're jacking it in a bit.
Should we
aren't
just Should we just not mention it again, like it never happened?
Well, let's do Monkey News next week.
No, we're not doing Monkey News. There's nothing going on. I'd be doing it if there was Monkey News going on. It's not going on. We can't do it. Rockbusters has to fill the gap. Oh, CK.
Depressing.
Oh God, we got this week's to come. I thought this was over.
CK.
Okay, now.
Do you know the songs that you sing at Christmas? That bloke who sings them is brilliant at it. Right? CK. Second one. MG. I told the homosexual man that the grape tree was mine.
What?
I told the homosexual man that the grape tree was mine.
And what's the initials?
MG. Right?
Okay.
Bit of an easy one. And I ask you if you believe in Father Christmas, right? What would you say if I asked you? The initial is S.
Is that specifically Ricky?
We might as well keep it as Ricky, yeah. I ask you if you believe in Father Christmas, what would you say?
So have they got? Is there any prior knowledge? Do they have to guess what I'd say?
Well, they'd know. It's obvious what you'd say about it.
Oh, this is so bad.
So it's a little quiz. Leave them thinking with that for the next week.
Right, what are you going to learn about next week?
podcast@rickygervais.com. Just send them in.
Embarrassing. Don't bother if they're shit.
Right.
Well, that's about it for another week. It's the end of number 5, number 6 next week. Keep coming to rickygervais.com. We'll keep you abreast of things that are going on. We've made a little video, haven't we, Carl? That we might pop up there. And we've had a few emails about the old shows. People came into them late in the season. Well, you can now get all 12 episodes of the first season on iTunes. And I think that's a 2 or 3 quid in England, or $5 or so, I'm not sure. But you can get those now, all 12. So, for me, Ricky Gervais, goodbye. From Steve Merchant.
Goodbye.
And from Carl Pilkington.
Right.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this programme. This is Audible.
Hello, welcome to number 6, the final episode in this season 2 of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Carl Pilkington.
All right.
You can still go and get the archive, all 18 episodes we've done so far. That's available on iTunes and audible.co.uk. And there's a little video diary we've done, a little free podcast. We may go into free podcasting, but in video, Steve. And there's a little free taster up there. So check that out. Go to rickygervais.com to find out all news and everything. But come on, let's get on with this episode. We're here and now.
This is right. Yeah, absolutely. Here we are. Good.
Carl,
go.
I've got some bad news to start off with straight away. The world's oldest tortoise, a 250-year-old, died last week.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, in a zoo in India. 250 years old.
So would that have had that thing that they say about how you get a flashback of your life?
You mean your life flashes before your eyes?
Yeah, they say, don't they? Just like on your last breath or whatever. You like see you coming out of the womb and everything.
Well, one, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe your life flashes before you. I don't know what evidence we've got. People who die say, you never guess what's happening.
No, but there's loads of things that have happened where people go, oh, that's weird. That goes to show that we've been around before, or...
No, it doesn't. There's none. I have no evidence for that. Of reincarnation.
I told you that time when it happened to me when I was younger.
Go on.
Your life flashed before your eyes?
Well, it wasn't like a flashback, but it was close. It's the next thing next to flashbacks. It was, I was having a bath, right? And my mum had run the bath and that, and she said, "Is that something like?" No, it's all right. It's a lot better than when I used to have a bath in that wooden bath in front of the fire.
Okay.
And she was like, "What?" And I said, "Well, it happened years ago." And she was a bit like, "Oh," and I can't remember that now, but she talks about it, and that just goes to show that because I was at an age when I wouldn't have known about wooden baths years ago in front of fires.
No, but you talk rubbish now. So all you were doing, you were talking rubbish from an early age. Where's the problem?
No, but you can only talk rubbish if you're aware of knowledge.
Well,
I didn't know about wooden baths, so why would I have invented
But Carl,
that?
we've only got your mother's word on this, and she thought you might one day be a doctor.
Yeah.
So,
she put a rock with a feather on it to keep a parrot company.
lest we forget.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Well, it's all bollocks.
So have you researched this? You've tried to find out when little Karl Mark I and his wooden bath when he was
No,
around?
I don't want to go there, because that's when you start digging out all sorts of trouble,
rubbish.
innit?
It's rubbish.
No, it's not rubbish.
Well, it is rubbish.
What sort of stuff might
There's
you
no
discover?
scientific evidence.
No, just like I've said, don't be looking at them, because you're only going to find stuff you don't really want to know about. It's the same as that, innit? Leave it, let it be. Do you know what I mean? If your granddad was Einstein, you'd know about it because your family would be shouting about it. If he was a bad un, you go, oh, keep that quiet. So don't look at family trees, and it's the same. Don't be looking back in your past lives, because
no
God knows
past
what you've been up
lives.
to. Well,
Karl and the wooden bath. Proof. If
Carl
proof be needed.
Pilkington, live on air, talking shit again.
but this taught us. So if that's
And also, its flashbacks would just be, the same wall. I mean, it basically spent, I don't know how many years, in a cage. It was in the zoo, so, it died of liver failure. Which is a problem if you're a tortoise, because with us, they can cut you open and have a look at the liver. With that, it's going, forget it, we're not getting in there. It's like you when you didn't want the plumbers to knock through the tiles to check out the piping. It's the same with the tortoise. If it's a liver, we're not going through that. It's not worth it. If it's your head or your feet, we'll have a look, mate. But we're not looking at internal organs with a giant... Because, what do you mean?
well, can't you drill into those things? It is only a shell. That is easier to replace than skin.
Carl, I was joking. You can't do a liver operation on a tortoise.
Why not? It's got all the same parts, hasn't it? All the same body parts and that.
Well, I think that's the point. Well, not really, but yeah, it's
But
loosely
better
speaking.
ones in a way, because they live longer. So they're doing something right, aren't they?
Right.
If they can live 250 odd years, our art can't do that.
Right.
Which is what I say about our tortoise has got it right in a way, that it's taking its time on everything. We're rushing about, getting stressed out. That's just, getting on with it. It's not rushing. It eats healthy, doesn't it? It eats lettuce and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's probably doing it right, but to be honest, it's too much. I wouldn't want to live 250 years.
Just eating lettuce. Let's not forget that all a tortoise does is eat lettuce. It's not like it's jet skiing weekends on a Monday. That's all it does is eat lettuce.
Yeah.
And that appeals to you, does it?
No, I'm just saying that it must be doing something right, though,
Of course it's doing something right.
because it's living 250 years.
But all animals do something right, however long they live. Mayflies live a day, but they're doing something right.
Well, they're not, are they? They haven't got a chance to learn how to do it right, and then they're dead. It's, that's from one extreme to another, isn't it? That just seems a bit mental to me, that living a day. I wouldn't bother, so forget it. Could you be bothered? You don't, just as you get to know someone.
Yeah, another mayfly.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if we had that, if that's how we lived our lives, you wouldn't have a chance to make a mark or anything, would you? It's just...
Would you try and pack a lot in that day? Disneyland, whatever.
No, I'd prefer to make it miserable so I don't miss it, if you know what I mean. But I was thinking the other day about, your body and everything, because it is amazing, isn't it? How it works.
Oh, yeah.
Control you, or are you controlling the brain? I don't know if I'm in charge of mine.
Nor do I,
There's
Carl.
a surprise.
Nor do I,
No,
Carl.
do you know what I mean, though, by that?
Does the brain control you, or do you control the brain?
Like, don't you ever sort of think sometimes, say if you're making...
But
'cause
you
I
are
was
the
making,
brain.
No, but I was making a shopping list, right? Going, right, I need some rice, kidney beans, and I thought I had everything, and I sort of was rolling up the paper, and then something went, oh, an onion.
Your brain did
Something
that.
went an onion. Was it
No,
Suzanne?
well, my brain sort of went, you forgot something.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd forgot. I was
No,
putting
you
that-
are your brain.
No, but don't you understand? My brain was I was in control of my brain when I was writing down rice and kidney beans.
But you're not in charge of the onion. That's another part of the brain that's in charge of the onion.
The onion sector.
No, but I put the paper away, putting my coat on, ready to go and get the rice.
Yes, but your onion, though.
You put the paper in your pocket, you got the coat on, then you just suddenly hear
Then
from
it
nowhere,
was just like it was
onion.
like yeah. I'm not even thinking about that shopping list. It's in my pocket. I'm thinking, do I need my gloves? It's cold out.
Yeah.
Suddenly, onion, and it was like, oh yeah, onion. Yeah, I had to get the paper out. So what I'm saying is, who's in charge?
The brain, the mind, the brain is the... What are you doing? Who's in charge?
That's just, you forgot the onion and then you remembered the onion. You must have forgotten things in the past.
No, but not like that. Not where, like, it just made me think, that was weird. Who reminded me of that?
You did.
Yeah, but I'm not...
No, you are your brain. It's not like there's you, then there's a brain, then there's an extra one looking down at it. The meta brain, the thing above it.
No, but your brain... How does your brain work? You give it information, don't you?
Well, it takes...
Do you mean you give it information?
Well,
It's doing it,
if
isn't
I
it?
sat in a room with nothing, not feeding it anything, it wouldn't know anything.
No, but there's this thing
But
that there's
then-
two yous. It's this...
And Carl's brain.
Yeah, there's not a duality in this. If you go, come on, now think. That's the brain saying that to itself. It's not. There's not two people in there having an argument. Come on, brain. And the brain's going, oh, don't you start, I was thinking then. And the other thing's going, brain, onion. And the brain goes, Carl, onion. You are your brain. If you are anything, you are your mind, your brain, your collection of memories, your personality. You're not what you look like. Does that answer your question, Carl? What do you think are then? You were thinking of a tortoise on a skateboard then when I did that last sentence, weren't you?
I, like you, Rick, I'm always annoyed and embarrassed when we have to concede something to Carl. And it seems though each week I look on the emails that we've got, and once again someone has found some evidence to support some of the nonsense that Carl has come out with. Now, you remember we were talking about his concept of putting a giant mirror on the moon, because why should we have to go into space? Then we'd see the Earth reflected back at us, and we'd think, that's the Earth. Isn't
I
it great?
can't see myself backing down on how ludicrous this is.
No, indeed. Although, someone, I think they're really being very picky. They were picking you up on a technical point, because I think one of your criticisms was the idea that the moon is moving, and thus the mirror would, be absent from view for some time. Although people have been claiming that the moon, there's always the same face of the moon that's shown to us. There's always the same side of the moon is always visible to Earth. That's when they talk about the dark side of the moon. It's not just light. It's the fact that we can't see it. It's the other side of the moon.
No, but we move, so it's not always present to...
Well, no, but it would always be present to someone on Earth.
Yes, I know. Wait, this is the thing. These people don't know what I know. I know that Carl is thinking of looking up there and seeing himself looking back. That's what he's hoping. Like when you're going along in a car and you see a shiny building, you go, oh, that's my car. And you wait. That's what he's hoping to see. He's not doing it to gauge the speed of light and think and change like that. He's not doing that. He wants to look up Eve.
Yeah.
That's what they don't realise. I know what he's thinking.
Do you want to respond, Carl?
He's got the problem with the moon is.
Here's a statement. The problem with the moon is ...
Yeah. The problem with the Earth is there's too much water.
Yeah.
No, the moon. It's been around ages, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's got no history. It's got nothing to show for it. Just a load of old rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, history is created by stuff happening on it. So really, the moon, even though it's old, in a way it's new, because it's untouched and that.
But we don't go to the moon to visit museums or arcades.
No, but say like
historical landmarks.
Henry VIII, right? You watch Antiques Roadshow or whatever, and some woman goes, oh, this plate you've got, this was Henry VIII's. And as you can see the knife marks on it. Oh, look, there's some chicken on it, right? And you go, oh, God, yeah. One goes in and goes, here's a plate of Henry VIII's, but it hasn't been used, it's still in the box. You'd go, well, it's not as good, that. It's got no history.
No, because very often on the Antiques Roadshow, they have Henry VIII's plate with a bit of chicken on it. They kept that. Don't throw that away. Why? Arthur Negus are like that in a few hundred years' time.
No, but do you understand what I'm saying? Things are only good if stuff's happened on it. The moon, you're up there, you're having a look, you're going, no one else has even been here.
But you go to the moon for research purposes, for scientific research.
There, Steve.
What do you mean there's nothing there? They're examining the soil and the environment and the air.
It's just a long way to go.
Well, they're not doing that, are they? They're just not doing that.
Well, they're not, are they? Because last time they went up, they were playing golf or something. There's golf balls up there that they've been whacking about. What sort of research is that? That's what I'm saying. There's nothing up there, so why else would you go all that way and go, oh, nothing here. Fancy a knockabout? Why are they knocking golf balls about if there's really important stuff to look at? You don't see people in museums going, fancy having a knock some golf. Oh, right, that's interesting. But on the moon, nothing. Nothing to look at. What other games have you brought? That's what I mean.
Carl, have you ever seen the programme Inside the Actors Studio?
No.
James Lipton interviews famous actors and gets words of advice about, how they work and how they act. But at the end, he always asks a series of questions, which is based on a French series of questions that a guy called Bernard Pivot used to give people when he interviewed them. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions. Many people will be familiar with them. Just interesting to see what your response is. And, answer them quickly. You don't have to think about them too much. What is your favourite word?
Don't think I've got a favourite, because you only use them when you need to, don't you? I don't just go about saying the same word. So,
well, alright.
Yeah, it's not my favourite, it's just that it does the job. It does the necessary job for that time, doesn't it? It's like, how are you? I'm alright. It's a greeting.
What about, I think serendipity was voted England's favourite word.
Never used it.
No, stupid word.
Who decided that?
Don't know, it was a poll, but I will suggest things. I can't believe people coming up going, favourite word, serendipity.
Thanks for asking.
So, but the thing is, say if it meant, I'm fed up, would it still be the best word? Is it based on how it sounds and how it's put together, or what it means?
I think everything.
But then loads of words are being left out on, which are probably brilliant words, and they're not getting a look in.
Such as?
Well, like that one, fed up. I'm fed up. It sums it up, doesn't it? Well, two, it just sums it up. When someone goes, how are you? You go, I'm fed up, mate. Sick of it. It's another good one.
Oh, we get somewhere. Come on, some of your other favourites, right?
Just all stuff.
These aren't words, they're phrases.
They're all negative, they're all whinging.
These aren't words. What's your favourite thing? My favourite thing to do is moan.
Yeah.
That would be well, it's not one word, it's loads of words. Fed up, sick of it. That's enough. Jeez.
Whinge should be your favourite word.
Yeah. Whinge is a good word. I like NGEs. Lozenge, whinge, flange.
Yeah. What is your least favourite word?
It might be serendipity. That would be up there for me. I tell you what, that would be up there for me.
Probably like French words that have made it into the English thing.
Blancmange.
Just.
There's an unge there. So,
How could you dislike it?
How could you dislike a blancmange?
But just, as if we haven't got enough words in our books.
Go on.
Because I was thinking about,
Go on.
Alphabet, right? Why have we got that many? When other countries get by without that many letters in it.
We got more words than any other.
We got more letters.
Well, I don't know.
So we've created a headache. I reckon you could at least half it.
Well, you probably could half it.
Well, you only use about half a dozen of them.
No, but stuff like an X, you look at words that have got X in, and they're always words that you go, what does that mean? How's someone come up with that? That's how it comes across to me, and there's loads of big words. It's like dinosaur names. It's like, well, look, nobody was about when they were knocking about, so let's make up some names for them using the letters that hardly get used. They've all got Y's and X's in them.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, let's use it for that.
Yeah. So you just, it's not so much what is your least favourite word, you just don't really like most of the words that are not
just cut down the words. Stop adding new words. I get by, I don't know how many words there are in the world, but I reckon I hardly use any of them.
Well, I'll tell you what, this year's word must be podcast.
Yeah, but
That'll be in the dictionary, and
but it's made up, innit? It was one. This is what I'm saying about...
But what else would you call this? You know, there is a new
broadcast.
concept called podcasting. That is a podcast.
But it's also a broadcast. We had a word for it. It's still a broadcast.
Yeah, but they go, oh, you're a broadcaster. Oh, what radio station? No, I don't work on a radio station. I do a radio show, but I don't understand. Well, I do a radio show and I upload it, and I don't understand. It's called a podcast. Done.
Here's another idea.
Go
Add
on.
a new one. Get rid of an old one. Last one in, first one out, or whatever. Do it that way. That's a good way.
What would you get rid of then? So we've brought in podcast this year, but what word would you lose?
Well, what's the name? Those birds that died out.
Dodos.
Get rid of it. If the bird's gone, the word can, surely.
It's almost profound. Oh, it's amazing. It's great. Oh, God.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Learning. Yeah.
Excellent.
Learning
Will you
stuff.
say that?
Yeah, but I everything you teach me, I take it in. It's just that sometimes I go, I don't get it. But that still counts as far as I'm concerned.
Well, no, it doesn't. Learning is knowledge is. There must be some sort of retention. You can't say I've got a great memory for a second. You can't say that. It has to stay there, and then knowledge has to be, applied. You can't just have all this knowledge that isn't applicable because it's useless. I mean, trivia is useless to a large extent. It's not real knowledge because it doesn't really help you in practically.
No, but there's a lot of that going on. You're always reading stuff that you go, I've just read that. It's got me thinking for a minute. It's not going to help me in any way, but it gets a reaction, doesn't it?
Well, that's good, yeah. That's what art does, and yeah, sometimes education's good for its sake if it really does inflame, but
then sometimes, like I've said before, you can know too much where it gets you down.
Go on.
Know about an octopus. That's like a killer octopus, and it annoyed me that this was knocking about now because I didn't know. I thought they were quite friendly. Whenever you see them in cartoons and that, they're always happy, aren't they? And then suddenly, like, they've sort of brought the whole sort of creature down. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Well, just you know, when you see them in films, they're running about and that, and everybody likes an octopus. But this one that's on it was your fault really, because you told me about that frog that's going about killing people.
No, I didn't say that.
So I looked it up on the internet at like other creatures and stuff.
.com.
And there's